Close to 100 of 136 Congress MLAs in Karnataka favor a change of guard at the top, according to party MLA Iqbal Hussain. And he's not the only one. He, of course, insists that MLAs are now openly backing Deputy Chief Minister and Karnataka Pradesh Congress Committee Chief DK Shivakumar to take over as Chief Minister. He insists that Congress top leadership, whether it's Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, or even the party president Mallikarjun Kharge in 2023, they had agreed to a 2.5-year tenure for Siddaramaiah and then the remaining 2.5 years running up to 2028 elections to DK Shivakumar. But Party General Secretary and in charge of Karnataka, Randeep Surjewala, has called any news of any change a figment of someone's imagination. Siddaramaiah supporters too insist he is solid as rock and will remain till 2028.
We are all part of the family. Congress is part of the family of all the Kannadigas.
After months of suspense and undercurrents, the Congress High Command has managed to douse the flames within its Karnataka unit.
We are all part of the family. Congress is part of the family of all the Kannadigas. You asked me whether this is a exercise for any change in leadership. The answer remains no.
Talk of leadership change, rotation formula and discontent within the ranks all put on hold. DK Shivakumar, who was seen as a challenger, has fallen in line, reiterating his commitment to the party and government.
I don't want anyone's support. I am not aspiring for the Chief Minister issue now. My aspiration is to only see that Karnataka comes to power in 28. That is my priority.
But murmurs still continue to haunt the Grand Old Party. A phone conversation of Congress MLA B.R. Patil has gone viral. In the leaked audio clip, Patil claims credit for Siddaramaiah's rise as Chief Minister. Patil says he arranged Siddaramaiah's key meeting with Sonia Gandhi, paving his way into the party. Chief Minister Siddaramaiah dismissed reports of discontent.
ಹೌದು ನಾನು ಚೀಫ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಾನು ಅದೃಷ್ಟವಂತ ನಾನು ಅವನು ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ MLA ಆದವಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿರ್ಬೋದೇನೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.
But with two strong leaders under one roof, will the truce last? And can the Congress High Command ensure that loyalists from both camps fall in line? Bureau Report, India Today.
So is the Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah's leadership facing strong headwinds and trouble from within, with MLAs close to Deputy Chief Minister DK Shivakumar demanding a change of guard? And does the DK Shivakumar gang actually, or that camp actually enjoy the support of over 100 of 136 Congress MLAs in Karnataka? Was there actually an agreement of 2.5 years? There are many questions we're still seeking answers to, and joining me for more on this India Today special broadcast is Siddharth Yadav, national spokesperson of the BJP. Syed Asad Abbas is political analyst close to the Congress, will give us the Congress perspective on this broadcast. Sandeep Shastri is national coordinator, Lokniti Network, someone who does number crunching intensely, has studied this very closely, and RK Upadhyay is a senior journalist with us on this broadcast. But I want to begin by asking you, Syed, Congress MLA Iqbal Hussain, you've heard him. He says 100 plus MLAs want a change in guard in Karnataka. Is the Congress looking at a change of guard? And is there a warning that if you want to win 2028, then DK Shivakumar must be the Chief Minister?
Gaurav Sahab, today I'd like to thank on behalf of the crores of Kannadigas of Karnataka, I'd like to thank you and your channel for dousing these fires and putting it to rest. I think DK Shivakumar, the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka, stated exclusively to your channel and I think your South Head, Mr. Nagarjun, that he's not aspiring to be the Chief Minister. The party responsibility given to him is the 2028 elections, which is less than 3 years from now. So therefore, I think Mr. B.R. Patil and Mr. Iqbal Hussain individually could be entitled to their own respective judgments or assignments, but this does not hold good in the larger high command. The fact of the matter, now let me break this to you in the Karnataka dynamics. Ahinda movement leader is Siddaramaiah ji, and I can tell you a fact of the matter, also being a Kuruba leader, it could be rightly said that Siddaramaiah has a larger possibility of having over 100 member of legislative assembly members than a Vokkaliga leader like a DK Shivakumar. The fact of the
Okay.
matter, Randeep Singh Surjewala also said that this is not an exercise, this is not a priority, but a larger goodwill and leadership of Karnataka. And coming back in power in 28, that will hold good. So therefore, the Bharatiya Janata Party also is trying to bring in these theatrics and rhetorics. Let me tell them straight that 136 strong MLAs in the bastion of Congress government, and I challenge them on India Today to try and shake even a little wiggle. And I mind you,
Okay.
sir, being a Kannadiga from Mannina Maga, son of the soil from Bengaluru, the Bharatiya Janata Party's dreams have been soiled because
Fair
together
enough. Let me get Siddharth
Siddaramaiah and
Yadav to
DK
respond.
Shivakumar will come strong.
Fair enough. Mr. Yadav, Congress is accusing the BJP of trying to fuel the speculation of a change of guard, and the Congress says this is just their attempt to derail the guarantees program that's doing well.
Gaurav, I think there would be no speculation if the Congress parties, their own MLAs would not be speaking. There would be no speculation if the High Command would not have to send down a General Secretary in the state to meet and speak to all MLAs and MLCs. There would be no speculation if the ministers would not come on record and say, and I remember the Corporation Minister coming out and saying that there are too many power centers in the state, which causes problem. Now, this is all which is going inside the Congress party. Everybody knows it. From day one, when Siddaramaiah sworn in, there were MLAs who wanted DK Shivakumar to step in. Since that day, the state of Karnataka, the people of Karnataka have been victims of this internal politics of Congress party, because of which the development, all projects have stalled. Farmers are on protest. 1150th day of farmers' protest. Roads are being blocked by farmers. The Home Minister says we do not have money. Karnataka doesn't have money. Siddaramaiah
Okay.
also doesn't have money. These are
Can I
the
quickly
statements by
counter
the
that,
Congress
please?
party themselves. So now, when you have your internal
A quick
politics
counter,
in house,
Gaurav sir.
you want to fix your house, go ahead and fix your house. Deliver to the people what you promised. You are not
Okay.
delivering to the
I'll
people
come
what
to
you
you.
have promised.
I'll come to you
10
to
seconds.
counter it. Let me just bring in Sandeep
10
Shastri
seconds.
for his opening comments. Let me just get a first round of
Okay.
comments and then I'll come to you to counter it. Sandeep Shastri, you've heard what Iqbal Hussain has claimed, that 100 plus MLAs back Shivakumar. You've also heard Yatindra Siddaramaiah insisting that his father will serve a full 5-year tenure. What was your reading of what is being made of this Congress's factional divide? Is Siddaramaiah solid as rock, as his party, as his faction leaders insist?
Gaurav, both outside the TV channel and in the last 5 minutes, we have heard a very aggressive attack and a very spirited defense in the spirit of both the parties. I think the point being made, Gaurav, is that this is a family matter. The family is united. The family speaks in one voice. But there is, I think, no shadow of doubt that there were certain rumblings visible within the family. If one were to read between the lines of statements made in the last few days, clearly there has been some difference of opinion that has been expressed, not only at the leadership level, also at the legislator level. We seem to have a situation, not just now, but even when BJP was earlier in power, that any legislator who is not a minister becomes a rebel and gets into the fray of attacking people. The ball seems to be have set aside a bit now with the statements which Surjewala ji has made or the others have made, saying that there is no rift. But I would still read between the lines and say the rift has been put on hold. The differences are not coming out in the open. These differences have returned with regular frequency in the last 2 years, just as it has returned with regular frequency in previous governments of other parties. This has been the bane of Karnataka politics, that once a government comes in, you will have a rebellion from within the party against that government. And we are seeing that once again, this playbook again expressing itself. So it appears as if there is no problem, but behind the scenes, below the surface, within the family, I think the rumblings will very much go on.
So an effort may be made to paper over these differences, but do they remain, and how serious are they, R.K. Upadhyay, in your appreciation? Because how do you see Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge's remarks that leadership change is in the hands of the High Command? Now, is he indicating that if there is pressure, then it is for the High Command to take a decision, or is he kind of indicating that there will be no change of guard, as Randeep Surjewala very clearly said?
Gaurav, the developments, the political developments over the last 10 days very clearly indicate that Siddaramaiah is on shaky ground, and his claim that he will complete 5 years is now there is a big question mark over it. So Surjewala's mission is not just to find out the financial position of Karnataka state or whatever smog he's tried to put. I think his mission is to find out how many people are with whom, how many people do support Shivakumar, how many people support Siddaramaiah, and that's the reason why he's meeting the MLAs individually. I mean, he may not be directly asking a question, but very clearly the exercise is to find out, in case Siddaramaiah is asked to vacate the seat, make way for Siddaramaiah, what is the situation going to be? So it's very clear. I mean, it's absolutely clear. And Siddaramaiah's, desire to continue at least till he completes, 2.5 years. Even that is now a big question mark is there. Now that would be November, December. But I think Shivakumar has made it very clear that he would like to take over as soon as possible. And that is how, he's trying to prop up his own, support base. The MLA is saying that, you see, he avoided that. He expected the High Command to come out with a clear-cut plan and saying that when he will take over. Since that doesn't seem to be happening, and Siddaramaiah is also differing, now he sees there is an opportunity that he should, ask for the CM's post. So that's the reason why
it's a build-up to November.
And as far as Kharge is concerned, you see, you can make out that he is keeping himself out of the High Command. He's talking about High Command in third person. He's excluding himself from the High Command. So very clearly he wants the Gandhis to take a stand on this. Probably there is a tactical reason as well. In case they're not able to decide between Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah, he would be a candidate for Chief Minister's post. Don't discount him.
Very interesting. Very interesting. You see him as the dark horse in this reign. But Syed, you wanted to come in initially,
Yes.
but do come in now and also respond, sir, to Cooperation Minister Mr. Rajanna, K. N. Rajanna, and he's seen as a very strong Siddaramaiah ally. He's hinting at something revolutionary that will happen, and before November. So that's what I want to ask you. This revolutionary change that will happen around September, October. Is this a cabinet reshuffle, or is it a change at the KPCC level that DK Shivakumar will no longer be KPCC chief?
I'm glad that you asked me this question. I've observed the question of Mr. Rajanna, and I can tell you, being a Kannadiga, how I read it. The fact of the matter, a couple of months from now, come January 2026, Honorable Chief Minister Siddaramaiah ji will break the record of Devraj RS, who was the longest serving chief minister in the tenure of Karnataka. Therefore, it will be Siddaramaiah ji who will lead a historic win when it comes to be the longest serving chief minister in 2026 January. Also, as a matter of fact, to my friend Siddharth Yadav, the BJP spokesperson, he mentioned the issues of farmers and agriculture and how Karnataka is going down. No, sir. Karnataka today is the second largest contributor of the GDP of our beautiful nation. The Karnataka state GDP has grown by 7.4%. Agriculture, farmers witnessed growth by 4%. The state GDP has outpaced the national growth by 6.2%. As much as you'd like to criticize Karnataka, let me tell you, sir, we are one of India's top hub when it comes to startups. We are the Silicon Valley of the East. So therefore, in order with petty politics, let us put Karnataka or even our beautiful city of Bangalore and show it in the bad roadmap. Politics will come,
sir,
politics will go.
my specific question on a cabinet reshuffle by September, October, you haven't answered.
I will answer
will
that.
DK Shivakumar remain as KPCC chief? You haven't answered, but I
Quick
will have to
answer.
come back to you. I will have to come back to you for this now. But Siddharth Yadav, you've accused the Congress High Command, that they have this High Command culture there. There are backroom decisions that are taken. You also heard Mr. Upadhyay saying that when Mr. Kharge talks of High Command, he's removing himself from that because he may be the dark horse. Isn't that what happens in the BJP? BJP's own tenure in Karnataka. You've had similar issues. You've had to deal with it. Congress is accusing the BJP of making CMs by parchi in other states.
Gaurav, first, I think what happens in Congress party doesn't happen anywhere in the world. A national president of the Congress party or any party for that matter in any part of the world would not and would never come out and say that there's a high command which does not include him. I think it's very funny and very ironical on the part of the Congress president when he comes out and says that there's a different high command which is going to take a call on it. It also shows the state of affairs inside the Congress party and definitely the state of affairs in the state of Karnataka, which are very wide and open. Now, my friend who represents the Congress party sits here and wants to highlight the merits of Bangalore or Karnataka. We love Bangalore, we love Karnataka, the entire country loves it. And that is
You
why
should
all the
also.
more reason, and that is why it's all the more reason why there is so much pain in our hearts that you are ruining it. You should
How
go and
we
read
ruining,
on
sir?
social media what is happening to the
Aren't we
Silicon
the
Valley of the
second
East.
largest contributor of
You should
GDP?
come out. I was not interrupting while you were speaking, sir. Have the courtesy to hear me
Answer
out.
me, my dear
You
friend.
should
Are we not
go
the
and
second
read out
largest
on
contributor
social
of
media
GDP?
what is
One by
happening
one,
to the
one by
IT
one,
hub.
gentlemen.
Can I
What is happening on the
counter me on
The
facts?
moment he
happening to
finishes.
the
The moment he finishes.
Sir,
Okay, please
so
go
you'll
ahead.
have all the opportunity to speak. So you should
Please
go
go
and
ahead.
read. You should go and talk to the people who are living in the IT hub, people who love
I live
Bangalore, people who are
here.
working in Bangalore, and then get an understanding of what you have done. You would want to ban bike taxis overnight. You would not want to talk about farmer suicides, which is the highest ever in Karnataka, which has never happened. You would not want to talk about the lives of so many people, the administrative failures, the administrative paralysis you have put the state in. It's not us who
Can
just
I
speaking,
counter
it's
that,
your own
Gaurav sir, please?
MLAs. Your two MLAs came out and
Okay.
made accusation charges of corruption on your own chief
Okay,
minister.
now
Go
let
and
me
speak to
counter.
those chief
30
ministers. That's
seconds.
point number
30
one,
Fair
Gaurav.
enough.
Point number two,
Let
I'll
me-
be very,
30
I'll be
seconds.
very short.
Please, please,
Gaurav,
30
I'll just take
seconds.
20 seconds. I'll take 20 seconds.
Yes.
When my friend says that Siddaramaiah comes out and says that I do not aspire to be the chief minister, he does not say that I would not be the chief minister before 2028 or before the next elections.
DK Shivakumar.
He never,
Okay.
sorry, DK Shivakumar. He never says that Siddaramaiah is going to finish the entire term. You have so much boiling in your own party, and because of that, the people of Karnataka are suffering. Is this what the Congress party gives to the people? You want to
Fair
solve
enough.
your issues?
You've
Go
made
and
that
solve
point,
them.
sir.
30
Sandeep
seconds.
Shastri.
The people
Sandeep
have elected
Shastri,
30
you.
seconds
quickly.
to
Sir,
counter.
sir, let me
Gaurav
keep
sir,
the
You have
let me
been
keep the
elected
ball rolling.
not to
I
fight
will come back to
internally,
you.
but to serve the people.
Okay, I will come back to you because Sandeep Shastri, when Mallikarjun Kharge says it's the High Command that has to take a decision, your appreciation, is he distancing himself from this decision making? And do you agree with Mr. Upadhyay that one reason for this could be that he sees himself as a dark horse in case it's neither Shivakumar, DK Shivakumar nor Siddaramaiah?
I think there is a main table and a side table. So I'm sure in terms of decision making, Kharge is, at least as I see it, a part of the high command. But there may be higher commands within that high command besides Kharge. So I would not exclude Kharge from the high command, but would also believe that there are others who play a more critical role in this decision. And Gaurav, I would hasten to add, this is not the bane of the Congress party alone. This is the challenge of every political party in this country, where
Yes.
the central leadership of the party, which may not be an individual, which may be a group of people, invariably define, decide, and determine what will happen at the state level. So what is a malaise of the Congress party is necessarily a malaise of party politics in this country. And why, as we are discussing Karnataka now and Kharge's statement on the High Command now, this discussion comes up, but I would say this is a malaise which is much wider within the polity across political parties.
And R.K. Upadhyay, in your view, how does the Siddaramaiah Shivakumar rift impact the Congress's ability to balance its OBC votes and its Vokkaliga vote base, and especially in the run-up to 2028?
Gaurav, until very recently, you could very clearly see that Siddaramaiah had the strongest backing of the High Command. That seems to be loosening. I think one of the main reasons could be that he made a mess of the caste census. it's one of the dream projects of
Rahul Gandhi.
Rahul Gandhi, and Siddaramaiah spent 165 crores, but he came out with a formula which is not acceptable to any of the major castes. So now they are redoing it, and even that is not happening in a smooth way. And they compare it with what Revant Reddy has done in the neighboring state. Though he's a very, greenhorn politician, he has successfully carried out the caste census, and he's talking about implementing it. And his cabinet has passed a resolution saying that 42% reservation will be given to OBCs. Of course, it has to be approved by the central government. So I think that is where Siddaramaiah has slipped, and the High Command is not very happy with him. And it's very possible that they're looking for Shivakumar to take over, because he could create trouble too if he's not given the chief ministership. Don't forget that he's among the richest politicians in the country. In fact, in 2023, he declared an asset of 1,413 crores. And now he's officially known as the most the richest MLA in the country, and he's also the financier to the party. So he cannot be ignored at all. His demand cannot be ignored that easily.
Can I quickly comment on that?
I want you to
Zab?
comment on that because I also want you to respond to Congress MLA Iqbal Hussain going on record to say that he was with DK Shivakumar in 2023 when this decision was taken that DK Shivakumar will take over as Chief Minister after 2.5 years and Siddaramaiah will remain for 2.5 years. Now he says and he claims Sonia Gandhi was there, Rahul Gandhi was there, Mallikarjun Kharge was there, but you must have also heard what the Congress minister, Mahadevappa, HC Mahadevappa, he said that all of this is just speculative talk. So, if there's a pact or if there isn't a pact, shouldn't the Congress come out with it?
The fact of the matter is, R.K. Upadhyay ji, who also hails from here, Bengaluru, Karnataka, made a very important point. I'd like to add on that and answer you. No doubt, Shri DK Shivakumar ji is the troubleshooter when it comes to Karnataka Congress Party. No doubt, he's also called the rainmaker. He makes things happen. But let me tell you the popularity and the mass leader that the Siddaramaiah is. Kittur, Karnataka, Sandeep Shastri ji will agree with me. Kalyan, Karnataka, Hyderabad, Karnataka, Coastal Karnataka. The leader of the Ahinta movement has been Sri Siddaramaiah when it comes to the grassroots level of the Karnataka. So therefore, Iqbal Hussain ji must go back to his books and understand it is vice versa. It would have made to political pundits and political analysts, to political commentators, it would have made a larger sense that more than 100 MLAs are with Siddaramaiah than the otherwise. Now coming to my friend Siddharth Yadav, respected sir, let me fact check you here. You said there are farmer issues. Let me tell you, if there are farmer issues, Karnataka agriculture growth is by 4% under the Congress leadership. Second largest contributor of the state national GDP. And we have outpaced the national growth by 6.2%. Kindly give me facts and figures, sir. Don't just nitpick. You speak of traffic issues in Bangalore and you want Rapido and other companies to take over? Sir, you asked me to speak to people in Bengaluru. I have stayed 37 years of my life and I can tell you every city has its problem. But the Karnataka government is doing everything in its might to make it better to the best. So kindly, no,
So
sir, we are still the Silicon Valley of the East.
who would be the
and
chief
we
minister
will continue
going
to be
beyond
one of the
is
startup leaders of the nation.
is the topic that we are debating today. Will it be Siddaramaiah? Will it be DK Shivakumar? And Sandeep Shastri, do you view this as a storm in a teacup or do you
Gaurav, please
view
let
this
me
as a
respond to
serious
that.
crisis? Within a minute, sir, let me just get Mr. Shastri to respond to this. That is this a serious leadership crisis in the Congress? Because several Congress MLAs have said DK Shivakumar should get credit and reward for all the hard work he's put in to bring the Congress where it is.
Gaurav, it's not a question of if there will be a change. I think it's a question of when there will be a change. I think the writing is clearly there on the wall that what all happened in the last few days would not have happened if there was not a undercurrent of protest and undercurrent of a feeling that there would be change. If not for that, I don't think the developments of the last few days would have happened. Possibly they have put the decision on hold for some time. Possibly they are looking at various implications. But I think it's only a matter of time that a change happens. For some of the reasons that my friend Upadhyay ji said, the first 2 years of Siddaramaiah's government has seen a lot of challenges that he has faced. which he did not face in his earlier term. It may be the caste census challenge, it may be the Muda challenge, it may
Muda,
be other challenges.
Valmiki,
So in a sense,
Stampede.
he has been fighting with his back to the wall, and therefore it could be, as I said again, it's not a if, it's a question of when.
R.K. Upadhyay, is that also your appreciation, this
Yes,
change of guard? And will this change of guard help fight that Muda or Valmiki challenge or the Stampede? Is this what the Congress needs ahead of 2028?
I think so. I do agree with Sandeep Shastriji because Siddaramaiah has taken a lot of missteps, which has not really gone down well, in the state. One was the caste census, and then we have seen how he handled the stampede situation. He put the blame on the bureaucracy and the police. When the administration should have taken the responsibility, and generally there seems to be a drift in the government. You see, one of the things is that the state exchequer is drained out because of the freebies. There is not much money for developmental works, and the MLAs are crying for funds, and they're not getting enough funds. And that's the reason why you find that the MLAs are most unhappy. It's not just the opposition MLAs, even the ruling party MLAs. They are not getting any
Yes.
funds. So a lot of development works have come to a standstill. But then he's trying to please, Shivakumar on the other hand, by giving him big toys. I mean, 18,000 crores for a tunnel road project in Bangalore. I mean, nobody has done a scientific study of this. Nobody knows whether it will work really. And 18,000 is the preliminary estimate. It may go up to 35,000 crores. And then he's giving some 6,000 crores for Skydeck project. I mean, he's trying to please Shivakumar. It's very obvious, to keep him happy and to ensure that, he gets a longer term. That seems to be the whole problem of Karnataka is facing now because of this
Okay.
tussle for the chief minister's post.
So it's not if, but when will there be a change of guard? And Siddharth, the last 30 seconds I have on this show, if there is a change of guard or when there is a change of guard, would that increase problems for the BJP in the run-up to 2028 elections?
No, Gaurav, I do not think that. And I do not think it is also about, BJP and Congress. It is about the people of Karnataka. My friend from Congress party was trying to explain a lot of things. I think the one should go and explain to their own MLAs. No, the MLAs are coming out and exposing the scams of the current Karnataka government led by the Congress party. The entire government is filled with scams. The leadership is filled with scams. You can't convince your own MLAs. There's a policy paralysis. There's an administrative paralysis. There's nothing that can be done for the people just because you have an internal fight. The people elected you. We are working as and we wish to work as a very constructive opposition. We will work as a constructive opposition. We'll go to the people and expose what you did. But what currently is happening to the people of Karnataka, just because of the internal politics which Congress party cannot solve, is very unfair and unjust. You want to make whosoever the chief minister, you want to show who has more support, go and show that support to your own MLAs, fix your house, serve the people. That is what the people of Karnataka want.
Sayed, I must get you to respond to this because DK Shivakumar, while they're getting their pictures clicked together hand in hand, he's also said the High Command will take action against those who speak a lot, and yet his loyalists are speaking out. So, is this serious dissent and defiance? And you agree, both our analysts, Sandeep Shastri and R.K. Upadhyay, they say it's not if, but when this change takes place.
I think I can overstep the line and guarantee one thing, being a political analyst, observing the Karnataka politics very safely, Gaurav Saab. I can tell you, as a brother, as a dear friend, and coming from Karnataka, Siddaramaiah ji, I challenge all the panelists today, will continue to be the Chief Minister of Karnataka for the next 3 years to come. You can take this statement as sacrosanct. Also, as a matter of fact,
I will hold you to account on this and we'll be tracking that story. I've run out of time on this part of the show. I have to slip into a quick break. But to all my guests, Sandeep Shastri ji, R.K. Upadhyay ji, Syed Asad Abbas and Siddharth Yadav for joining me here on this India First special. Many thanks. Will the Bharatiya Janata Party have a new party president by mid-July? Are the BJP and the RSS on the same page? And not just on the broad parameters of selection, but the specific names of who the party candidates would be for party president. Because 50% of the states have to have new presidents in place before the election of the national president can take place for the party. 16 of 19 states are done. 3, including Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh, are pending. But there is trouble in states like Telangana, for example, where T. Raja Singh put in his papers and N. Ramachandra Rao has now taken over as the state party chief. What's happening? What's cooking within the BJP? We get you more in this report. Aishwarya Paliwal reports.
The race for the next BJP national president has picked up pace. With organizational polls nearing completion in several states, sources say the RSS and BJP top brass are close to reaching a consensus on who they want for the top job. As per BJP's constitution, the national president can only be elected after organizational elections are conducted in at least half of all state units and usually holds office for 3 years. N. Ramachandra Rao has been declared the new BJP president for Telangana.
I will definitely see that the Telangana BJP works hard, and our aim is to come to power in Telangana in the next elections. So in this regard, the cadre, the leaders, together will have to work hard, and I will strive for that.
Senior BJP leader PVN Madhav officially took over as the party's Andhra Pradesh unit president, succeeding D. Purandeshwari. And in Himachal Pradesh, Rajiv Bindal has been appointed the new president, while Mahendra Bhatt will now lead the party in Uttarakhand as state chief. This after VP Ramalingam and K. Bechu were elected BJP presidents of Puducherry and Mizoram respectively. The process of electing state presidents has also begun in states like Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh and West Bengal, with many expected to follow suit this week. In Karnataka, all eyes are on Vijayendra, the frontrunner, but names like Sunil Kumar and C.T. Ravi remain in contention. In West Bengal, the party may replace Sukanta Majumdar with Shaming Bhattacharya or a woman leader like Loket Chatterjee or Agnimitra Paul, as factionalism threatens unity ahead of 2026 polls. Sources say Suvendu is also keen for the post. In Madhya Pradesh, caste balance is key. SC, ST and OBC leaders are in the race as BJP eyes social harmony. So far, 16 out of 37 state units have completed the process. Once the count hits 19, the party will be in position to initiate the national president's election. With the threshold almost met, the BJP's new national president could be named soon, setting the stage for the party's next phase of leadership ahead of crucial elections in 5 states over the next 12 months. With Aishwarya Paliwal, Bureau Report, India Today.
And Prime Minister Narendra Modi embarks on a 5-nation tour. He would be out from the 2nd of July till the 9th of July. So the process is likely to firm up for him to take a final call when he returns. But is the Sangh on board too? Joining me for more on this big story is India Today's Aishwarya Paliwal, tracking developments closely, and a senior journalist, Aarti Jairat, with me on the story. Aishwarya, are the BJP and the RSS on the same page now? Because the RSS has always been insisting on a strong organization-centric leader to be party president.
Well, Gaurav, there's a reason for that. The RSS now believes that the next turn has to now take place. A new dawn has to come because the elections that we will see in the coming states of Tamil Nadu, the BJP has been eyeing it for quite some time. The state of West Bengal, the BJP was very, very clear that they will snatch it from TMC the last time, but that did not happen. The BJP stopped at mere 77. So keeping all those things in mind, the RSS now believes that someone who can actually make sure that there is a change, an entire churning of sorts that takes place in the BJP, that's what the RSS is looking at. The BJP also, Gaurav, at the moment is understanding that there is a need for a churning of sorts to take place. The same churning, Gaurav, that we saw when Amit Shah actually became the BJP president. That kind of churning is something that the BJP is now looking at, almost on the same page, Gaurav. In the next fortnight, I can give you this much we are understanding from our sources. In the next fortnight, we will have a name come out, a name that will that both the BJP and the RSS will be agreeing with. In the next 15 days, BJP will have a new president.
Okay, of course, it was a big jump from 3 to 77 even in Bengal, and emerging as the principal opposition party where it had struggled for decades and decades just to make inroads. Aarti Jairat, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had this meeting with the RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat. Analysts said the aim was to to ensure that they were both on the same page on who the next BJP president is, somebody with a strong Sangh background, not seen as just a yes man, rubber stamping decisions of the Prime Minister and the Home Minister. In your appreciation, has that been addressed?
Well, let's see the name that they come up with. Then we'll be able to really see whether the RSS has prevailed or whether the BJP has prevailed. It's interesting that this process, Nadda's term finished at the end of 2023, and we are now in the middle of 2025. So it's been 1.5 years that Nadda has just been, sort of functioning on an extension. And, this is very rare for the BJP to be so undecided about who the party president should be, particularly once Modi took over the reins as Prime Minister. The decisions have been taken very, very quickly, whether it was putting Amit Shah in as party president, then replacing Amit Shah with JP Nadda. It all happened very quickly, very decisively. But, I think the results of the 2024 Lok Sabha polls, kind of threw both the BJP and the RSS off, because it revealed a lot of internal fractures within the BJP, between the RSS and the BJP. And I think a lot of time has been spent on trying to address those internal issues, which then, came this whole Operation Sindhu, this resurgence of terror in Kashmir, Donald Trump disrupting the entire world order, demanding, sort of a trade agreement with India. So, it's been a very, very tumultuous time. And I think both the BJP and the RSS, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, as well as the RSS chief, haven't really had the time to sit down and kind of work their way through the internal problems of the BJP in the midst of all these external pressures that have come on India and the government. But they can't delay it anymore, because I think people are beginning to talk. People within the BJP are beginning.
Yeah. And Aishwarya, several names.
Very, very unsettled that there is.
Several names have been doing the rounds. We were going through some of the names in public domain: Dharmendra Pradhan, Bhupendra Yadav, Shivraj Singh Chauhan, and several others. So what works and what doesn't? You have this big smile, because usually it is said whatever name does the round in public domain, those are names that are completely out.
Well, Gaurav, that's the exact reason why I'm smiling, because see, we have also heard all these names. So the idea is to make sure that someone can, who can be a perfect balance between BJP and the RSS, because the RSS, see, is not an organization that will look only for a decade. They look decades ahead. What they are now looking at is to make sure that Bharatiya Janata Party becomes this big party, the party that has given out so many things to the people. Over the past 11 years, we have seen how the schemes have worked out, how they have reached to the last person. That is what the RSS at the moment is looking at. The BJP understands that there are complications when you run a government. So all those things need to be taken into consideration. ML Khattar also, Gaurav, is one of the names that we are hearing. We also understand that one person who understands the RSS and the BJP who makes sure that he understands both RSS, BJP, that's the name that, let me tell you, will come out, because going forward, not just the state elections, 2029 big elections is also something that is on the minds of both RSS and the Bharatiya Janata Party, Gaurav.
And Mr. Khattar is also someone who has the Prime Minister's trust. They've been in the Sangh together for a fairly long time. Aarti Jairath, when you look at the changing dynamics, external and internal, both the BJP and the Sangh would realize that they both need each other right now more than perhaps ever before, in case that big 2029 push has to be made.
Oh, absolutely. Because, today, Gaurav, India is facing a lot of external challenges. I mean, as you well know, following the, sort of Donald Trump becoming US president, and then following, the attack in Kashmir, and then the Indo-Pak war that happened for, 4 days, the role that China played in, beating up Pakistani military and so on.
Yes.
So, there are huge, huge external challenges facing India. And I think it is very important that the RSS and the BJP are on the same page moving forward, not just for the elections, but also for the security and stability of the country. So, you really don't want this kind of, what we're seeing currently in UP, for instance, where there's so much, disturbance going on internally in the BJP. They haven't even been able to elect some of their district chiefs because there's so much infighting going on. So that's the kind of thing that they cannot afford, which is why I think this push for a good, strong organizational man who can bring some order into the BJP and, build up the organizational strength, which has always been the BJP's big strength as they compare to the Congress or other opposition parties.
And Aishwarya will be tracking that story very, very closely. Aishwarya Paliwal and Aarti Jairath for joining me here on India Today. Many thanks. There's breaking news coming in, and that's a big story, a very strong statement that's just been made by the External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, in Washington, D.C. He was at the Quad Foreign Ministers meeting, and Dr. S. Jaishankar said, and I quote, "A word about terrorism in the light of our recent experience. The world must display zero tolerance. Victims and perpetrators must never be equated. India has every right to defend its people against terrorism, and we will exercise that right. We expect our Quad partners to understand and appreciate that. India plans to host the next Quad summit. We have some proposals on how to make that productive. I'm sure so do our partners. We will discuss, and I'm sure that we will agree." A strong statement. And when the Foreign Minister of India says this, and the Foreign Minister, especially of the United States of America, is listening at a time when a radical Islamist terror state, Pakistan's failed marshal or the terror perpetrating army chief, has been given a quiet lunch at White House, there are signals that Quad partners must understand. But let's listen in to Dr. S. Jaishankar.
A word about terrorism in the light of our recent experience. The world must display zero tolerance. Victims and perpetrators must never be equated. And India has every right to defend its people against terrorism, and we will exercise that right. We expect our Quad partners to understand and appreciate that. India plans to host the next Quad summit. We have some proposals on how to make that productive. I'm sure so do our partners. We will discuss, and I'm sure we will agree. Once again, I thank Secretary Rubio for hosting us today, and I look forward to our discussions.
I want to bring in India Today's Pranay Upadhyay for more on this. So, Pranay, Dr. Jaishankar didn't mince his words, and India is cut up about that White House lunch for that radical Islamist terror state's field marshal, somebody who should be in the doghouse for being a radical Islamist terror state and sponsor, is being fed lunch at White House, something that Quad partners don't really appreciate.
You're absolutely right, Gaurav, and this is a clear message sent out by the External Affairs Minister of India, Dr. S. Jaishankar, right from the US soil. He went to New York in the first leg of his visit, and he inaugurated the exhibition hosted by the Permanent Mission of India Against Terrorism, that how India has been victim and how world should treat the menace of terrorism. You would recall, Gaurav, that since you and I have been covering these issues for quite some time, and since 9/11 onwards, and even before that, India's policy as far as the terrorism is concerned has been consistent. India is the country who has always canvassed and has advocated the comprehensive convention against terrorism. While we have seen that, pre 9/11 and post 9/11, there has been various and many facets of the US policy against war on terror and against terrorism. Yes. And as far as the Pakistan is concerned, US has always chosen convenience over conviction. But this is the time when India, from the US soil, this was a clear message sent out by the External Affairs Minister of India, Dr. Jaishankar, in the presence of all the Quad members, Quad foreign ministers, and especially to Marco Rubio, who's the Secretary of State of US, that there should not be equation between perpetrators and those who have been victims of terror, because all these member states of Quad have suffered the menace and the wounds of terror, be it like 9/11 to many other terror attacks, even by the United States. You remember, Gaurav, that Muhammad Khalid, who was one of the perpetrators of 9/11, was caught in Pakistan in 2003. And since then, we know that even Osama bin Laden and very many cases are there to show US that how Pakistan has been harboring and promoting terrorism.
Double standards on terrorism, unacceptable. A White House lunch for a failed marshal of a state sponsor of radical Islamist terror at a time when US says that it's fighting terror. Remember, post 9/11, America was saying you're either with us or against us. How is the US behaving today is something that perhaps Donald Trump also must ponder on. We'll be tracking that story very, very closely. Pranay, many thanks for joining me. We'll track that story, but that is all I have for you on India First this evening. Many thanks for watching.